now you'll see what this passion made of me. No disrespect, respectfully, but the Maze Madman's been set free.
Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Madman. I'm here with my guy,
the Maniac.
Yo.
Well, it's me, Johnny Olden Jr. You know, y'all know me, you know, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Maniac might be dropping in. Keep it peeled for that. Also, we might have a very special guest, depending on what happens tonight. And just how cool just how convincing I can be. We might have a special guest tonight, so keep it locked for that. But one thing that's for sure is this, Johnny. Michigan recruiting is in fuego, sir. A lot of reading between the lines going on right now, but Sharon Moore has been cooking. Lou Esposito, Lamar Morgan cooking, but the biggest surprise might be Ron Bellamy on the recruiting trail so far. He already has commitments from Jalen Pyle, 4-star receiver, another 4-star receiver out of Texas. Zion Robinson has committed. Michigan is crystal ball to land another 4-star receiver out of Virginia and Travis Johnson. And then there's Calvin Russell. What's your thoughts, man?
Oh, they cooking. And it's not just that they're getting receivers, which we need. We need the receivers bad.
Right.
So it's great to see Bellamy and the boys getting the receivers to go with Bryce and the backs, but they're building the trenches. Because that's where it's won and lost. They're building the trenches and they're getting monsters.
Yeah. Speaking of those trenches, Johnny, Bear McWhorter already in the fold, right? Malachi Lee. I'm gonna share this screen. He is actually who we're here for today. Malachi Lee will be making his college decision in just about 25 minutes or so, maybe a little less. This is not what I wanted to share, actually. Let's not share that. And actually share what we wanted to share. And it's this right here. Crystal Ball to Michigan by Sam Webb and Steve Lorenz. Sam Webb, as much flack as he gets from a lot of other fan bases, even some in this fan base, he's pretty accurate when it comes to these recruits and crystal balls. Yeah.
You can take you can kind of take his crystal balls for recruits to the bank usually.
Absolutely. In addition, Malachi he has the greatest high school name of all time. Kamehameha is his high school in Honolulu. Shout out to that. All my Dragon Ball Z fans out there.
I saw that. I thought I was tripping. Like,
man. You know, this dude goes to Kamehameha. That's crazy.
Like, who's the mascot? How can the mascot not be Goku? Or
exactly, it's got to Master Roshi or something, right?
At least Master Roshi.
But yeah, man. One of the things that I wanted to touch on though is his size, bro. Before we get into anything else, 6'6", 318 pounds, absolute monster. These are the kind of guys that you want on your offensive line, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. With him, what'd you have? Ty Haywood last year, Babaloa, the Malarski. He's 6'6", 280 already, which is that's big. You know, he's not 318, but they'll get him there. So that's that. These are the type of guys that in a couple years, everybody's saying, man, Michigan's monster offensive line.
Right.
And that's when championships come.
Right. And that's what I think people lose sight of that. Sure, me and Johnny and everybody else, we're excited about the skill players, right? The potential of getting some of these great skill players. Hyder still out there, Russell still out there, right? But we know, right, having played football ourselves, having watched football for however many years, that you win championships in those trenches. Michigan won when Michigan went on that 3-year playoff run, the trenches, 2 of those 3 years, Joe Moore award-winning offensive line. Hell, every one of those 3 years, difference makers on the defensive line. It's those trenches that, get it done for you. Because it's not like before Michigan was throwing for 5,000 yards a season, right? Now, granted, the run game was always consistent, and that's consistent because you get those road graders on the offensive line, those guys that can make holes and can help those guys, Blake and even Donovan, find holes to get through. So,
fourth quarter,
defensive line important.
Fourth quarter, that offensive line making teams quit. Everything Michigan got was built off the back of that. We're gonna make you quit in the fourth, and it's really our offensive line is gonna make you quit in the fourth.
Right. Yeah, man. And I'm sorry, I was hearing you twice, but and that's basically what got it done for Michigan again when they were, going on that 3-year playoff run, making it to the national championship, winning the national championship in 2023. So don't lose sight of that by all the skilled players. And I know that the skilled players are going to get a lot of the attention, the bulk of the attention even, but pay attention to what's happening in the trenches even more so than that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go through. We got some bombshell news actually while we were sitting here in the back waiting for this to come through. I'm going to share this with y'all because this is crazy. Jim Harbaugh and other members of the Michigan staff and front office, including Santa Ono, were named in a suit stemming from the Matt Weiss investigation, that whole case, if you will. I'm going to share this screen with y'all. We'll go through it just a little bit. But yeah, so basically this says University of Michigan co-ed Sue Harbaugh, Ono, as Matt White's hacking scandals widens. And it's basically a group of women who say that Michigan didn't handle this properly. It is alleged that a member of Michigan staff actually saw Matt Weiss on one of these computers and went to the higher ups and told them before Michigan played TCU in that semifinal playoff game, and that Matt Weiss still coached in that game, which, if true, that's obviously not a great look for Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, because Matt Weiss is absolutely a creep. We don't know, obviously how these women who are alleging this got this information. We don't know just yet, but that would be not a great look. Like I said, Johnny, what's your opinion on that?
When does it say that they told Michigan about it?
So it says the lawsuit alleges an unnamed staffer saw Weiss viewing private information belonging to female students between December 21st and December 23rd of 2022.
Yeah, so they had to investigate. I'm just thinking about it logically. I know some people or Ohio State, whoever, they're going to crash out real quick on it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it logically with, HR and all these types of things. You can't just hear something and then just, okay, you can't coach, you're fired. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't, real life doesn't work like that, really.
Right.
Anybody in the corporate world, they have to find out and actually see and, talk to the other people around him. They have to investigate this before. But once they found out he was gone, like, it didn't take long for him to be gone.
Yeah, at least, from our perspective, what we knew about it for sure. Now, granted, the Fiesta Bowl, which is the bowl game that Michigan played TCU in, took place on December 31st.
Yeah.
And if this guy saw, or this guy or woman, I don't, because we don't know who it is, it's an unnamed staffer, saw him between the 21st and the 23rd and went to Michigan before that Fiesta Bowl, then obviously they had some knowledge of that and allowed him still
Yeah.
to go out and coach that game.
Yeah.
The only thing here is whether or not that person went before the Fiesta Bowl, which is alleged in this suit, by the way.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, then obviously that's not great. It doesn't look, I'm not saying that they'll be punished for that or anything. I'm just saying from a moral standpoint, it doesn't look great for sure. Yeah.
And they're what you call it, I get it. He did it to so many women or student athletes. Who knows what he was looking at? That for real. That the class action, because they got the class action against Michigan. That one's going to be spread thin because when there's a class action, there's so many people on it. The amount of money you're going to get is going to be lessened because there's so many people. Right. So if we can sue Harbaugh in Ono too, and everybody doesn't get on this one, then my pot looks bigger, which I'm not knocking them. Hey,
right.
Harbaugh was in charge. Ono was in charge. You're held liable in situations like this. So it is what it is.
Right. Obviously that's something, and we doing our diligence here by, reporting that or announcing that. We didn't report. We weren't the investigative reporters that found this information, but certainly I don't care what the university is, who the person is, who they work for. If you're doing something like that, man, then obviously that's not great, and we don't condone that at all, by the way. Matt White, I got a daughter that's about to go to college, and somebody, some creep doing this to her would obviously put me in a situation where freedom might be in question. But these are the sorts of things and this is why he's, under federal or has been arrested and has been charged and indicted. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they, lower the hammer on him for sure.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. He's a sleazeball, all of the above.
Absolutely.
So whatever he gets,
That's for sure, bro. Because speaking of hammer time, and I know there's a lot of people out there from a certain fan base that would love to see some hammer time, and we got it for you.
Stop. Hammer time.
And we come back. Here, what's good,
gentlemen? Good evening.
Oh, Maniac! I said in the beginning. I said I was Maniac. I guess I'm now Kinetic.
When you did that, Johnny, when you did that the other day, bro, that shit was so hilarious. Man,
bro.
That was a good one. That was good timing.
Reminding everybody out there, make sure you like the live, share it with your friends and family on social media. We've gone back. I've given moderator privileges to a little bit more of you, by the way. Tree Dog is now a moderator. I made my guy Mike Legend a moderator. Gotta be a moderator, Mike Legend, and some other people. I expect all of the mods of this channel to share this live and all of the lives that you see on your socials. That is the duty of a mod, by the way. My guy Troy, I got to make Troy a mod too. But yeah, man, we were talking about, I don't know, Maniac, if you saw a new lawsuit against Jim Harbaugh, Santa Ono, and others at Michigan stemming from the Matt Weiss thing.
What?
Yeah, man.
Is what
now? What now?
Does it say who all it is?
I didn't see Ward's name, but let's go through it real quick. Let me share this real quick. But yeah, they're claiming, basically malfeasance here. So it says what it says, Maniac, and anybody who's new and just joined. The dates between December 21st and 23rd of 22, an unnamed UM staffer saw Matt Weiss viewing private information belonging to female students at Schembechler Hall, by the way. And this suit is alleging that they had this information before Michigan took on TCU in the Fiesta Bowl on the 31st of December. and that Matt Weiss was still allowed to go out and coach that game, right? He was still. That's probably why he was calling that bull that he was calling, because he knew
was
it was
garbage all year.
Oh my God.
He was.
That game, no, he completely sold that game, bro. You can't convince me
he
otherwise.
He knew he was cooked.
Absolutely. What was that?
Yeah,
the Uno reverse?
Was.
The Philly on the goal line? Like, come on,
we
man.
did the Philly, the special ed version of the Philly play. That dude was so
Philly special ed, right?
He was short yardage in red zone.
Disgusting, man.
And that's what's crazy, right? When you look at that game, if you look at how many times Michigan was in the red zone and either came up with just 3 points or no points, it'd be mind-boggling. They should have put 60 up on TCU, even with the 2 pick sixes that JJ threw. Right. We just couldn't convert in the red zone, and we turned it over at key moments, man. So, like I said, I keep it real. We choke.
Yeah.
Same way I'm quick to get on OSU, I'm quick to get on my team as well. We choked against TCU. There was no way that team was better than us, man.
No that's way. A fact. But yeah, I don't see where it mentions Ward Manuel in here. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Harbaugh, Manuel, and others failed to protect students, the lawsuit alleges. So
well, let's see what happens. I mean, if any of this is true and the parties mentioned that were involved need to get punished.
I don't see how you can if they were working for Michigan, seems to me like that should still fall back on Michigan in the same lawsuit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Since they were all employees of Michigan, so the lawsuit that's already going on right now, it shouldn't be able to be separated. Because you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I feel like if like civil case, you knew that this was going to happen. They were going to sue Michigan. They were going to sue Jim Harbaugh. This was going to happen anyway because he made the hire and Michigan made that hire. So you know what I mean? Like it all it's a domino effect.
So let me ask. No, I get that part. Suing Michigan, and I don't blame the victims as they should. Of course. As they should. Absolutely. Yeah. But why does Harbaugh have to, be caught up in this?
In this specific one, they're saying he would have had the information before the Fiesta Bowl, and he allowed that man to go out and coach that game.
Well, but if we gotta see if there's proof that he knew that.
And that's what I was saying earlier.
Right. That's why it's all alleged.
And then of course alleged. And if there is proof, then Jim Harbaugh is wrong for that, man. Big time.
No doubt about it. Shout out to Troy. He says, I say we forfeit that game.
Honestly, they probably we would have been better off if they did suspend him, and Moore would have been the full offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to sue Matt Weiss for his play call in that game as well.
We probably should. We probably could sue Matt Weiss for his play calling in that game.
Class action.
Class action. We get a petition together.
Let's
chat,
do it,
y'all
guys.
let us know. We sign it. We suing Matt Weiss for his play calling in the Fiesta Bowl.
I'm gonna say it lost me thousands of dollars and financial hardship because of his play calling and his incompetence.
Distress.
Yes,
my blood pressure was already high.
Absolutely, bro.
Listen, man, we got the case, guys. Let's get it in motion.
Yes, vacate the TCU game, please.
You know what I really hate about that game? Not to I guess to segue, since we in the talk, now we in this TCU rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That JJ, besides the interception, they were big, but you saw the throws he was making after it was like, we're down. This is on JJ. We got to run him. We got to throw him. Whatever we got to do to try to win, it's on JJ. Right. And he made some hell of a throw, some nice runs. It was like, bro, that's the game we were waiting for him to have a game like that, to where it's on his shoulders.
No, you're right. And at that time, I guess he just wasn't ready to take that step forward. Although an argument can be made, JJ also got Michigan back in that game to some degree.
He did. And he told Weiss he didn't want to throw that quick slant or whatever.
I did not know that. That's hilarious.
He told him he wasn't comfortable throwing it. And he called it anyway, like he's on the field, bro.
I left the beach for Weiss. Shout out to Dom, who sent me a picture. He actually sent me a picture of a beautiful blue sky and him on the beach. Dom is living the life, ladies and gentlemen, out there in San Diego, for sure. Also, I saw somebody in here say that Gohan is actually the mascot for Kamehameha, the high school.
That's dope.
Is that true? Can we confirm that? By the way, I made more people mods. Marmar, you are a mod again, sir. Marmarski is a mod. We got mods back. Gave some mod privileges back. I know I had a sweeping action taking some mod privileges away from a lot of people, but we gave some back. And I expect the mods to have shared this live on all of their social medias. That's the job now of every mod. Shout out to Lich Max. But look at Dexter Green. Yeah. Dexter, you had yours a long time ago, man. I gave you yours back a long time ago. If that's true, that's awesome. Yeah, if Gohan is the actual low, or
it's not. He's not.
Damn, bro. See,
I don't know what this dude is. If he's a conquistador or what is, I don't know what he is.
What is their
it's like a guy with a helmet on, and it's like some type of soldier or warrior from.
Question. I'm sorry. Did Malachi Lee commit to Michigan?
We probably should be over there looking at we talking. It's almost time. I hope we didn't miss it.
I just saw somebody in the chat say we flipped some linebacker.
Oh, that's not Malachi Lee then.
No, Malachi Lee. I know he's the lineman. We interviewed him.
Yeah.
But he said, let me see who's the linebacker. He said,
nah, he hasn't.
Markeel Dabney.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, that was one of the ones we were waiting for. That's the guy from TCU. They flipped him from not TCU, SMU.
What's he?
I think he's like a 3-star technically. Let's look him up actually. But he plays both sides. I like him a lot actually. I'm not saying he's Mike Sanders still, before y'all kill me for this. But he's a
linebacker, running back,
linebacker, kind of like tight end, receiver type. Yeah.
Okay, and we know what Michigan do with these kind of players, man. They definitely develop them. So as long as these guys got that work ethic and they ready to work, man, they Michigan's gonna put them in a good position to succeed.
Right. No doubt. And this kid is actually a baller. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. This is him. I'm gonna share the screen here. We'll stop sharing that one. That's not him. This is him. You from Richmond, by the way. That's Hyder territory. Keep that in mind. But yeah, he was committed to SMU. He flipped to Michigan today. So if what they're saying is true, I don't see where he actually flipped, but everybody's saying we flipped him, so I believe you. Oh, there it is right there. Markeel Dabney flips from SMU to Michigan. Once in a lifetime opportunity, he calls it, gentlemen.
It's a fact.
That is a fact.
It is, man. And
by the way, we were given. Oh, go ahead, Maniac.
No, I'm just saying these guys, man, they come to on campus with a chip on their shoulder, man. They understand that they're not highly touted. They understand that, no one is really looking at them like that. So you know, when they go in those practices, man, they come in to kill, man. They they got a lot to prove. So, you know, when, you know, I get it, Michigan fans, or they want to see is 4 and 5 star commits. I get that. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see that, but it ain't all about stars, man. Because if that was the case, OSU would have had at least about 4 natties in the last 10 years. So that just tells you that stars is not the end be all when it comes to college football.
No, that's a fact. He might even be a 4-star on some other services, by the way. But I know 247 has him as a 3-star.
And one thing that I like about what's going on with this staff, and Sharon Moore, Soup Campbell, is they're putting the history. They're letting these guys know the history and the prestige of Michigan. Like, they're putting it at the forefront. Like, whether you grew up and Michigan wasn't that good at first, and then we went on our run again. Michigan's history isn't 15 years. It's not 20 years. Like, this is hundreds of years of being a prestigious university, killing it in the 90s and before then. You know, all the great players that have came through there, whether it's Tom Brady, Woodson, Ty Law, you know, Big Gabe Watson, was it Marlon Jackson, Chad Henne, Mario Manningham,
Lamar Woodley, you know, David Harris. Like, there's so many, Bianca Batuka. Like, let these guys know about the history. That, you know, this history just didn't start with Aiden Hutchinson and David and Josh Ross and them boys. This history is long, and I'm glad that they're leading with that to let them know Michigan it's not just a recent thing. Like,
nah, that's a fact. By the way, Antoine, he's 6'1", I think 205, something like that.
Hey, look, based on this film, man, the guy has good field awareness.
Yeah.
You know, he has good hands.
Facts. He lined up out wide here. To Antoine's point earlier, we just saw him playing coverage from the linebacker position. You know, so I think this is a real good pickup for Michigan.
Yeah. And you know, man, you know, again, I know it sounds like you beating the dead horse, but we understand that these are the kind of players that come to Michigan, man, and thrive. They thrive, man. You know, again, how long is Wink gonna be at Ann Arbor? We don't know. You know, this could be his last year. He could coach another 4 years at Michigan. We don't know, but I still think, regardless, whoever we get after Wink, I think is going to be a hell of a DC as well. And these players will get developed at Michigan, man. And dogs, I saw somebody in the chat. They made a very good point. He said, "I don't want stars. I want dogs." And bro, that's absolutely right.
Says, I wonder how Juju feels about BJ. That's a fact. You know, Juju somewhere throwing darts at pictures of Brian Jean-Marie. But this is a good pickup. I like this one a lot, actually.
Definitely.
It's almost time, though, ladies and gentlemen. What we are here for, 4-star elite offensive tackle, Malachi Lee. I believe he's 130th in the country, out of Honolulu Kamehameha High School, set to make his college decision. We're gonna go there live as soon as they get that up. But talk to us in the chat. Let us know what you think. Is this a Michigan slam dunk? I tend to think that Michigan got this one in the bag. There's also another kid out there, offensive tackle, Turntime from Texas, I believe, who, you know, this could affect his recruitment for Michigan. Michigan also did a great job recruiting him. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be great if they could get both of those guys, Johnny.
Man, you know, every time a lineman is about to commit to Michigan, I think about Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah.
Remember? He sat, and again, remember to the point where we spoke about Harbaugh. Great coach, but the guy was weird. He said, man, this guy came into my house and he was walking with cleats on. He
That's a
said
fact.
Hardball's walking into this guy's house with cliques. Now, I think it was more than that. I don't know if Georgia gave him the SEC special. You know what's the SEC special before NIL? You know, they was heavy in paint. They don't call it the dirty South for nothing. You hear me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yes, they
he
do. By the way, they do know this guy.
yeah. But yeah, so and he was an elite lineman, man, and we missed out on a lot of good linemen during that time, man, early in Hardball's coaching. And a lot of them guys end up whether we were in the running, they committed or decommitted. But
Right.
like we just couldn't hold on to them, man. And you saw it really showed because we couldn't keep up with the more physical teams in the Big Ten at that time because we just didn't. Not that we didn't have good old linemen, we just didn't have those dogs.
Right. Yeah. Nah. You're not lying, man. But things have definitely turned around for Michigan here lately. And as far as the trenches go, right there at the top, in the conference, they proved to be at the top of in the country for 2 years, 2 straight years, winning the Joe Moore Award. The only team to do that, by the way. So absolutely, we're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. I think they're
So
saying live in 5 minutes right now.
So if you said after Malachi, is there any other lineman? I know you mentioned Turbin, which like you said can affect his decision. If Malachi Lee come to Michigan, he's pretty much like, all right, I'm done. So
Yeah, I think
we have
that
any other linemen? How many we have? How many O linemen? Somebody let me know how many O linemen we have so far in this recruiting class.
Shriners took care of me, so I was super
can y'all hear
grateful
this, by the way?
that they
Yes,
even
yes,
considered me
yes.
to be a
All right, here we
children's
go. We are
ambassador.
live now.
And you know, to this day, I
Malachi
still
Lee
keep in
about to
contact
make his
with them,
college
and I'm just
decision.
grateful for all the opportunities they presented to me.
See what happens.
You know, I'm just thankful.
Thankfulness is something that you've always said for every one of your visits. You're always showing your gratefulness, and I know there's a lot of people that
Super
have been
humble
here
kid, by the
for you
way.
through this process.
When we
I
talked
want
to
to give you
him,
the opportunity before we get into the
He
decision.
said, "Turn it
I
up some
wanna
more
thank
if
all
you
those
can."
special people that have been there.
all right.
So I have a speech with more thanks on it, but I just want to thank everybody that came out today, showed their support
That
for
better?
me, my family, and my decision.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's been a long, hard process, but we're finally here. And you know, I'm just grateful to every single one of you, each and every one of you, for showing out today and coming out to support me. I'm grateful for all the media broadcasts that have covered me over the past 3 years and just allowing me to get these ratings and be here today.
All right, Malachi. Well, we got folks all over the country that have tuned in to watch where you're going to be playing your college football. This is your opportunity, though, to share where your decision is going to take you. But also before that, I know you do have a speech prepared that you want to share with everybody before you announce your commitment.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Heavenly Father for his constant love and my Savior Jesus Christ for his atoning sacrifice. All that I have and all that I am comes from them. To my dad, Keola, and my mom, Amber, thank you for your sacrifices, your prayers, your patience, and your constant love. You believed in me before I even believed in myself. And even though it wasn't easy, you guys always found a way to make it possible for me to travel and compete in camps so that I can be right here in this very moment. To my siblings,
Luxury water.
Messina, Deuce, Toby, Mason, and baby Mila, you've kept me grounded, you've pushed me, you've supported me, and we've laughed and cried together. And you guys remind me of what really matters. I will love you guys always. I'd like to thank my grandmothers, Nana and Grandma Lila. Thank you for both being an extra set of parents to me and my siblings. Your love and support mean the world to me. To every coach who has invested time and belief into me, thank you for not just teaching me the game, but for teaching me character, discipline, and how to lead. You've each played a part in helping me grow as a man. To the late Coach Matt Fonga, Coach Brian Derby, Coach Gabe Sewell, Coach Andy Ramos, Coach Sola Soleil, Coach Kael, and all the coaches here at Kamehameha, thank you. To my teammates, past and present, thank you for showing up every day and working hard for this team. It is truly an honor to be a Kamehameha Warrior. and to have played with each and every one of you. To teachers, counselors, and staff members here at Kamehameha Schools that have supported me over the years. A special thank you to Uncle Kingsley IU and Coach Pacabello, who is watching via the live stream. Thank you for helping me through this entire recruiting process and making today possible. To my extended family and close friends, thank you for cheering me on, praying for me, and standing by me through the highs and lows. Your words of encouragement, your presence at games, and just being there have made a big difference. I truly wouldn't be here without the love and support of the people around me. And finally, to every school and every coach that has recruited me over the years, especially this past year, I cannot express the amount of gratitude I have for each and every one of you. You didn't only recruit me, you recruited my whole family. We were able to travel to places and see things we may never see again. We've met amazing staff members that took such good care of me and my family when we came to visit. Thank you, coaches, for taking the time to call, text, and visit me at school or at home. My family and I are so blessed to have had this opportunity to build relationships with each and every one of you. With that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be attending the University of Michigan.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Go blue, go blue.
Go blue, baby.
Go blue, as if there was
it is. The
any
University
doubt
of
about
Michigan goes into Hawaii and lands the #1 offensive prospect.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All-American
you know what
Bowl
we got to
selection,
do right now.
Polynesian Bowl selection. Malachi Lee will be.
I am the greatest.
I brought a superstar with me.
I'm the best there is. Woo! Woo! Woo!
And
I
we
want you
back.
to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
I can say with a strong heart that I would love. I want to go to Michigan.
About when in the process was it that you really started to realize that Michigan was going to be the school? Was it before you took the official visit, or was it on the official visit there that it kind of sealed the deal for them?
I think it was on the plane ride home. I had a lot of time to think, 8 hours to think, and I kind of just made a decision, and I was like, I want to be able to go play for the Big Blue in the Big House.
Obviously, Coach Moore has got an offensive line background himself. Coach Newsome has been a big part of the recruitment. In fact, he was out there a number of times this offseason. Coach Moore was out there in January. When you had the opportunity to sit down and talk offensive line with Coach Moore, with Coach Newsome, was there something in those conversations that made you realize that was the coach you wanted to play for?
For sure. As it's known, Michigan is O-line university. And I think Sharon Moore being the head coach and Coach Grant Newsome being the offensive line coach, you have two O-linemen being able to coach you up. So I definitely looked at that in the terms of development and knowing that I would be in good hands if I went over there.
After you got home from the official visit, you let Coach Moore know that you were going to be a Wolverine. What was his reaction?
Oh man, he was so excited. He was jumping around his office. I had one of his assistants record him just for this day. But he was super excited. I'm so glad that I built the relationship with him and Coach Newsome. And I'm excited to play for them.
How much of a relief is this process, knowing that it went on for so long and you had all these schools all over the country? And it's not an easy flight for you coming from Hawaii to all these schools, but how much of a relief is it to know that you've got your college spot picked, you know where you're going to be playing, and the recruiting process is done?
I'm relieved. Taking care of a family of 8 on official visits is not an easy task. So I'm grateful to every school, but I'm relieved that I won't be having to take a 8-hour flights for the rest of the summer. But it's like I said, I'm just relieved that it's all over.
Lastly, you're going to get to play your final high school game ever in January at Kamehameha High School. How cool would it be to play in the Polynesian Bowl, a game that I know means so much to you, means so much to the state of Hawaii, means so much to your high school. But for you, you get to play one last game after this season, which I know you're hoping for a state title, but to get that one last game in the Polynesian Bowl before you head to the Big House.
I feel it's a great opportunity for Kamehameha schools that, they even allow us to play the Polynesian Bowl there. And I think for my final game, it's great because, I'm going to be home.
All right, folks. Well, there it is. Malachi Lee is heading to the University
All
of
right.
Michigan. Chalk another victory up for Sharon Moore, Grant Newsom.
Michigan is cooking with hot
Ooh.
grease right now on the recruiting
Ooh.
trail.
Woof. That's just beautiful to watch, man. Malachi Lee is a mammoth, man. That's a man child. And bro, he hasn't even touched campus yet. And I've mentioned this, guys. This is, whenever teams like OSU land that 5-star receiver, it's like, yes, whenever we land these O-linemen, this is how I feel. Because you know what? You're always going to have a good chance when you have a very dominant O-line. You could win games you're not supposed to win just off the strength of your O-line, just bullying the team and win a 16-13 dirty game. Opposed to if you have a cacadoodle O-line and it's just you have zero chance.
Yo, in a matter of less than an hour, Michigan picked up 2 more key recruits. We can't forget about Markeel Dabney flipping from SMU to Michigan. And of course, offensive lineman, 4-star elite offensive lineman, Malachi Lee, committing to the Wolverines on this day. Ric Flair, what you got to say?
I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
That's you're damn right it is. So let me ask, how many are we taking for this class? 25?
You mean overall?
Yes, overall. Not what we have committed so far. What we, where we maxing out at. Because I know every class, dependent. Every class is different. I know it's somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah. I think
someone
Michigan
in the
takes
chat
about 25, 27 in this class.
28.
Around there.
I see somebody put 28.
And 3 and Jo. What up though? What up though? That's my guy E. Shout out to E.
Yeah, that's my guy E, man. Shout to E. E's a beach with the pull-up ball, man. Don't play with my man. He'll slam you on your head. Don't play with my man E. He in shape.
No doubt. And speaking of in shape, look at my man, the Godfather out here with the guns out.
Oh man,
guns out
there trying to impress the ladies on the beach, man. What's up?
I doubt that, man. The gray doesn't get me far. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I have it. Phil, you could pull me off the beach anytime for a signing like that. I'm like beyond thrilled right now.
Yeah, man.
Beyond thrilled.
It's a big deal right now in Michigan. Michigan is a big deal on the recruiting trail, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever, I feel like any recruitment that they really want to win, right, Johnny, they have the ability to now. It's not like it was 5 years ago. Right now, if Michigan wants you, you are at the very least going to listen to what they got to say.
That's a fact. That's a fact. They cooking with grease. And when you see getting all these other players, getting these players to commit, it starts to, you just keep building that momentum. Like you going to Michigan. Now it becomes a cool thing because these guys are young.
Right.
So it becomes a cool place to go now.
I got one for the Master Chef. I got one for the Master Chef. You remember the morning after the 1310, I hopped on your channel and we were just laughing. But then I said, I was afraid, Johnny. I was so afraid we were going back. And then we got Bryce Underwood and you were like, Dom, you're right. That momentum just shifted right then. And it's been 100 miles per hour ever since. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Snowball.
It's great.
Snowball.
Yeah, and you heard he said something very important, gentlemen. He said Michigan is O-line university, right? That's the mindset we want to install in these young high schools coming in. Yo, where you want to go? I want to go to O-line University. And just by hearing that, we want that word to be synonymous with Michigan. Oh, he talking about Michigan. And Michigan showed that, man. And I think this year, I know one of the concerns many Michigans have is the O-line. And I get it. That's a legitimate concern, but I don't think it's because of talent. I just think it's because of the left tackle. And we know that's the most important, pretty much the most important position because you are the protector of your quarterback because most of them are righties. But I'm telling you, man, I'm going to say our O-line, they going to ball out this year, gentlemen. And then we're going to be doing the Ric Flair all year.
That's a fact. Real quick, Jake from Cleveland is in the chat. He's also joined us live for the first time. Feels like in forever, Jake. What's good, man?
What is so bad with the United States Senate or the United States Congress?
All right, Jake.
His mic is real low.
Yeah. I don't know, Jake. Try to drop down, come back up.
Connection.
Oh, there we go.
What's up, man? I'm not gonna be on here long, man.
Yes, sir.
These fools over here in Ohio, they just talking all kind of crap, man. I'm so glad we got this boy out of Hawaii, man.
These men and women in the Senate.
Ohio State, in Ohio, they said cut
in
in
Wi-Fi. They cut.
Damn, bro, they sabotage and everything. Those boys don't play out there.
There we go. There you go.
Hey, man, my son, I told him get that Ohio State stuff out of this house, man. So he moved it all out.
You're a smart man. Good man.
Yeah, man. I told him get with the program, man.
No doubt.
All right, y'all be easy, man. Take care.
All right, Jake.
Thank you, Jake. See you, brother.
Shout out to Jake, man. Lich Max, what's good?
Hello. I'm feeling really good about our position in the recruitment crisis this year. I think we're going to we might be looking at top 10 by the end of recruitment season.
We might be looking at top 10 by the end of the month, and it's already the 10th.
Yeah, for sure. Like if we keep rolling like we are right now, we might be even looking at top 5 by the end of the season, recruitment season.
That's a fact.
And I don't want to hear any other of the programs complaining about how we're recruiting because they're the ones that said, get with the program.
Yes,
we did. Now look,
yes.
Now
right.
look what we're doing. We got with the program, and they're just mad we're doing it better.
That's a fact. Yep. Number 12 recruiting class right now, according to 24/7. So shout out to that, bro.
I heard. Is it true? I believe I saw something that Michigan there's a crystal ball for Johnson.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Travis Johnson, by the way, I interviewed his mother right here on the channel 2, and she spoke very highly of Michigan. Let me say that, and I think that's a done deal too, man. And he's going to be announcing on the 4th of July, so we might be right back here for that.
I'll definitely have the Glenn Fittich ready for if he goes to Michigan.
Let's get it. Shout out Antoine Johnson, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. He says there's a difference between getting the recruiting number and building a functional team. It's about team building. If you know football, you're illiterate football fans, aka Michael. I'm pretty sure that's for Dallas fans.
Yeah, I mean, bro's out here looking at star ratings. We're out here looking at chemistry.
That's a fact, man.
Yeah,
Dub Q.
What up,
good,
dog?
Man? What up?
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Polo bro them. They was bragging about them 3 stars, not realizing that it's definitely it's more about quality than quantity. They stacked up on all them 3s, and we're sitting higher than you in recruiting. Oh, bro, I'm glad we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Hold on, real quick, gentlemen.
Them late night commercials, they should throw a commercial for little bro them. If you have it in your heart, please donate to the NIL of this poor program, because the fans and the boosters ain't getting it done.
Yeah, they in a sad state right now, bro. MSU is sad right now. I know some people think that they're They're be on the lookout. I'm not really.
I mean, an argument could be made. They could have some sleepers sitting over there coming out of the three-star recruits. They could have some sleepers because we ended up with some sleepers that were 3 stars to begin with, and they turned out to be top draft picks in the NFL. So I mean, it's entirely possible that they could have some sleepers. But at the end of the day, there's still Lil Bro, and Lil Bro is gonna Lil Bro.
Yeah.
That's
Get a defense again. I'm not buying into Michigan State like that.
Yeah, no, and this is why it's scary for the opposition is that Michigan always recruited in the 15s and in the low 20s. That was kind of where we normally land after the recruiting cycle. Now we looking at top 10, inside the top 10, and we could do that for the next 4 or 5 years straight. Bro, oh my goodness. You're talking about it's gonna be Halloween. It's gonna be Halloween every Saturday for these teams, man. Because they're gonna see when you get talent like that consistently, what you should do with it. And Michigan is showing. And I'm beyond excited, bro. Thank you, Lord, for making me a Michigan fan.
I mean, the best part is, like, before we even opened up the NIL and opened up our wallets to pick up some of these top recruits, we were still getting good recruits. They were rough around the edges from the get, but they were still good recruits. Now that we have the ability to actually offer them something more than just a scholarship to come play, we're getting that top tier talent, and that's something that I think these programs weren't prepared to happen.
That's a fact.
When it comes to matching Michigan with the recruiting battle.
Yo, guess who's here, ladies and gentlemen?
Penn State bot.
Michigan talks tough, but Garrison. I saw Garrison here earlier. Garrison, say something now. Now I know that this is not Garrison. But this is hilarious.
He said we need, Penn State. The guy that has Triple M. Show us, put up the interview with Drew Allah you had. He said a lot of interesting things in that interview.
No, you're right. Drew Allah and he gave me a great interview a couple years ago. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna put it up. Carry on while I find that interview.
Yeah. When you see that interview, once you see that interview, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. He's gonna say he had a lot to say in that interview. But we gonna. What happened?
Looking at Penn State bots comment.
Yeah, he's just a troll. It's somebody. It's just somebody.
100% sure that's not Garrison?
I don't know. It's somebody. It's somebody that we know, and they got 2 accounts and they just switch, and it is what it is. I mean, not saying Penn State is not a good program. They listen, man, there is a lot of history, a lot of rich history on Penn State, but what they have been is they choking. All right.
My immediate post-game reaction to the Michigan State game. At the conclusion of this one, it's a shellac, by the way. Poor little bro, man. However, on more important business, I'm here with an exclusive interview from Penn State quarterback Drew Aller, and he's going to talk about that disappointing loss he took today at the hands of the other state. Drew, can you tell us a little bit about your team?
I'm sitting here like, how you get an interview with Drew Law? I'm sitting here trying to think of like, dang, man.
Drew didn't have much to say that day. He didn't have a lot to say that day.
For that boy.
The greatest interview in the history of the Madman channel.
We are a good program. I promise we're good.
Bro. I'm real deal. More like, okay, you got a alarm. Let me see this.
To hell with Penn State, they say. even Garrison.
Hey.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, let's be fair here. Penn State is a good program if they were in the FCS.
Joe. They would dominate. They'd be dominant down there until I guess it mattered the most because James Franklin is allergic to prosperity, I suppose.
That or until Notre Dame went down to join the FCS too to play teams more their caliber.
Yo.
And like I wish Dom was here right now, but like my pops, when Penn State first joined the Big Ten, they thought they were going. People thought that Penn State was going to take over the Big Ten, like that was a thing that they were going to be like that, and it never ended up like that. They hardly ever actually win the Big Ten. Like
bro, all those dreams died in '97 when what's my man's name? He knocked that boy out.
Hayes, Hayes. I forgot his name.
Bro.
Yeah, he ended his career. He ended both of their careers, his and that tight end with that hit. And you know what's crazy? Michigan's first game against Penn State when they joined the Big Ten was in Happy Valley. I remember my son Derek Alexander had a punt return, and Michigan had 2 classic goal line stands in that game. Yes, I saw it in real time. I know I'm older than a lot of you dudes, but it was beautiful to watch. It was on ABC.
It was on ABC.
How old are you, Juwan Stockton?
I'm 43.
I'm 55, so I think I got all.
Oh, no, Troy. Yeah. I stay in my place. I stay in my lane. Let me move. Yeah, Troy, let me move to the middle lane. My fault. It's too fast in this lane.
Yeah. But I had a question, and I thought I had to get on here live in order to ask it because all those comments was flying by. I don't know how I could be a moderator because I can't keep up. So you might want to rethink that. But do you think we might circle the block for that kid that went to Miami, the O-lineman, the 5-star?
Hey, that's a great question, Troy, and I'm glad you asked it because the answer is yes. That recruitment is not yet done. The book isn't closed on that one. Michigan, as well as other schools, too, certainly gonna circle the block, spin the block, if you will.
Hey, I got a quick question for Troy. Troy, what was it like watching Tom Harmon live?
Hey,
that's wild.
Yeah, crazy,
I'm sorry,
man.
Troy. No, you know, man. I had to get that one in though.
I can only account for watching his son as an actor.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that old. I'm not that old.
That's crazy, bro.
Not Tom.
But yeah, man. One of the Wink Martindale, by the way. Somebody just shout out to TK. Wink Martindale says, "We not done, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over yet." I think we ain't done yet. That was a classic moment, by the way. By Marcus Peters right there. That's fire.
Yes, sir.
Again, dropping and coming back up. What's going on?
Hey,
What kind of service you got,
that's
man?
what I get for making jokes. Sting, y'all said, get out of here with your old jokes. You're not spring chicken yourself.
Oh, ageism dub Q out here, man.
Hey, man, I don't know what happened. But, hey, I wonder, Markeel Dabney goes to the same high school as Dave Terrell. I wonder if there's any relation there.
That is interesting.
David Terrell was a dog, too.
David Terrell was him, bro.
Yeah,
he wore that number one well.
And I was like, I recognize that high school. That's the same high school as DT.
Yeah,
David. Is McCulley wearing the one?
Who?
I think McCulley was wearing one, wasn't he?
He is.
Yeah. We need that. It means something here.
I mean,
it means something.
Yeah, but you heard Jordan Marshall saying McCulley looking good. He like, he gonna have a good season this year.
Yeah.
And I get it. We kind of been on the wide receiver drought as far as an elite receiver. Like our receivers been consistent except for last season.
Right.
But McCulley probably could be the first ones to really come close to getting 1,000 or even, reaching that milestone of 1,000 yards. So don't sleep, man. Don't sleep. I think he's going to be good. And having an experienced offensive coordinator like Chip Linsley, who's going to scheme open a lot of these guys. And we got a lot of weapons. Michigan is going to be a team that you just can't load the box, right? That you just can't cover them man to man across the board. And then you're going to have to count for Bryce's legs too.
That's a fact.
Bro, McCulley is huge. He is huge.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, that is one thing that he's.
Hey, I wonder how McCulley is gonna live up to the legacy of Omarion Walker, bro.
Hey, stop it! Stop it right now!
Oh boy!
Hey, yo.
I don't know how he got that number.
I want you to stop it right now, bro.
Hey, listen,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Hey,
Don't
yo,
do it.
M3, he got that catch against Washington. I was like, yo, it's on now. They don't know about Omarion Walker.
Yo, bro, we was all guessing. Yo, when Jack Tuttle completed like that 15-yard pass to him, I said, we about to cook. Yeah, all right. The dude went into hiding. He went to hibernation. We still haven't come out hibernation, bro. My goodness.
That's
where is he? Where does anybody know where he went? Did he get picked up or transferred somewhere?
He went to some. I think he went to he went to a small school. Man.
Burger King Tech.
I always try to see where they go and how they do.
Now, I really hope he does well, man, because I thought, and I got, caught some flack for this, but I thought last year, going into last year, he's the best athlete on Michigan's team. It just everything else got to connect. You know what I mean? He can't just be an athlete.
He's one of the better athletes on college football 25.
For sure he is. Yeah.
I just think he should have stood at corner, man. I think 1 year of experience, probably getting cooked here and there, but I think by now he would have been an elite corner, man. I think he just felt like, I want to be a receiver, and I can't blame him. At the end of the day, it's your career. But look, sometimes being stubborn, this is where it gets you. You see what Michigan does, right? Remember Zach Gentry? He was a quarterback. Michigan made him an NFL tight end. Khalil Mullen, Hassan Haskins. Who else? Mikey Sanders. So Michigan has a history of switching guys' positions and making them successful. Bro, I'm listening. Like, yo, you need me to be the punter now? I'll be the punter. I don't care.
Hey, to answer your question, M3, he ended up in Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah.
Like he said real quick, I have no doubt that he probably would have been starting this year if he stayed at corner.
If he stayed at corner, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Dom. He said, Lee signing live, hit the like button. Godzilla destroys Columbus. Shout out to Dom, man. Shout out to my guy, Sean Paul Anthony. Been a fan on the channel for a long time. Shout out to you. Finally became a member.
Yeah,
you
that's my Latino brother right there.
Absolutely. Shout out to Sean Paul, man.
And if you're in the chat and you're not already subscribed, I highly recommend it.
E has gifted one of you lucky fans a membership to the Maze Madman channel. Be sure to thank E. Let's find out who it was. Y'all be sure to thank E. Was it you, Dub Q? Did you get one?
Man, I ain't getting no goddamn membership. Apparently, I am forbidden from receiving one of these memberships.
It was AC the Real. AC the Real. You have been gifted a membership. Be sure to thank my guy E.
Yeah, just so you know, Maze has you in the blacklist for membership. That's what's going on.
Both channels that I frequent.
Nah, man.
Johnny, when you get back up, Can I get a membership on yours? Because these other two channels don't mess with you, boy.
Bro, I wish we could like determine where who we get a membership to, because you'd have been had a membership. I no doubt about it.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. No doubt about it. I'm about to send you $2 so you can become a member, man.
You know what? I'm showing up for the next joint. Don't worry about it.
No doubt. Antoine Johnson said he got a good show idea. Antoine, you know how to hit me, bro. Hit me with it. We got a dope show idea for y'all tomorrow. Johnny, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll be going live. I'm not sure the time yet. Maniac, what time you got available tomorrow?
Let's do early.
What about
12? 12, 1?
All right,
Oh, he's
12
gonna have to set an alarm
tomorrow.
now.
12 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna be on my show, and we're gonna be cooking up on talking about where college football is heading. Do you need to schedule these out of conference games?
Right.
These big time out of conference games.
Just to let y'all know, I'm on the side of, as a fan, I want to see good out of conference matchups. I understand where Johnny's coming from. We don't want to give too much away though. But yeah, tune in tomorrow, noon tomorrow. Give your thoughts, and we'll obviously give ours.
Definitely, man. But again, Michigan's recruiting. And it's funny, man. They were disrespecting our recruiting, and look at you guys, y'all look sad, and look now, they quiet. Fans are quiet, except for Dallas fan. He only picks up at the end of the day. He puts up recruiting banners. That's the only thing he could celebrate. That's all they
He
do.
also just recently, because Notre Dame hasn't been doing much, just switched to putting up basketball recruiting banners now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Shout out Mike Legend. He says, hell yeah, quoting the great Ric Flair, the greatest of all time. Can't keep these Gators down. Kiss stealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
And the big thing you have to remember about recruiting is a lot of these schools they have more recruits. So that's why they're higher up. They could be 3 stars. They could be a class full of all 3 stars. They got 18 3 stars and 1 4-star, and they'll be ranked above you just because they have way more recruits than you at that moment. It's not that they have quality recruits, like Mays was saying earlier.
And that's what matters too, because I think of all the teams above Michigan, it was only a handful that had better average, rating numbers than Michigan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's recruiting is the long game. It's not a get super happy in March and April.
Right. Yes. Correct.
Speaking of March and April, speaking of, I know we brought up Lil Bro Nim a little earlier today. I wanted to share with y'all something that I retweeted a couple days ago, if I can find it, because a lot goes on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, so it could be lost forever. Oh, I found it. Here we go. Y'all got to take a look at this, because poor Lil Bro Nim. They will forever be poor Lil Bro Nim. Lil Bro does Lil Bro things. As you can see, this person, Daily MSU. Well, would you look at here? Look at the date, ladies and gentlemen. June 13th. MSU rated number 34 in the team rankings and recruiting, and Michigan was way down here at 36. And this guy right here couldn't wait to tell it. But then couldn't even, as I said, didn't even make it out of the month of June before this tweet was obsolete. Poor little bro them. Michigan was number 15 at that time. As my guy Steven has pointed out today, they are now up to 11 on at least one of the recruiting services. But just goes to show, man, don't count your chickens before they hatch.
We take a little break from recruiting for a little bit, self-imposed, and then we come back, and within less than a month, we're ahead of everyone who was talking crap on Michigan's recruiting.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Ryan. He says Notre Dame and Michigan been killing it this week on the recruiting trail. Notre Dame, I got to give them some credit here. They are having a pretty decent recruiting run themselves. They got Javian Osborne, although the big fish looks like he might be going to Michigan, but I digress. I got to give y'all credit for that. That was a good win for y'all. Got another tight end, I believe, today. So, shout out to them, man. It isn't the other state. Y'all too afraid to play us, so we ain't got to worry about it. In fact, if we matched up in the playoffs, y'all might opt out of that. Who knows?
they might end up giving us the fourth win for that game.
Crazy, man.
So, and because looking at the rankings, what players does Michigan have that is Michigan close to getting that are 5 stars?
3 actually. There's Hyder,
Meadows,
and
there's Russell.
So
and
if
then
Michigan
Johnson
gets 1 or 2
is
of them, bro, it's gonna be about top 5 at least.
Oh yeah. By the way, I speak to my guy, one of my guys, a good source over at 24/7, by the way, who says Michigan has a good chance to land all 3 of those players. He gave me an order. I can't give out too much information because then he won't give me information anymore. Yeah. But no, that Michigan's in a good spot right now.
I know for sure we're supposed to get one of them.
Right.
I can't say who though.
Exactly. Right.
Just
all right. Saying that, being that you mentioned those 3 gentlemen, if you had to pick, they say, listen, you could get one. Who's the one you picking of those 3 5 stars?
It's a good
I'm
question.
going Meadows.
Before you go, Johnny, you need to drop that in the group chat. Let me know what's happening.
I'd have to agree, and I'd have to go with Meadows as well.
Yeah. I need that DN, that difference maker DN.
Yeah.
We definitely need that.
I've been assuming that we was gonna get Meadows for a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like Malachi Lee. Sometimes you just get a feeling, and I felt like we've been up on both of those 2 for a while now. But then again, I had the same feeling about Javian Osborne. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. And you saw, man. Look at the Super Bowl, man. What the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line did to Kansas City. They had Mahomes looking like a 2-star quarterback out there in the Super Bowl.
I mean,
that dude couldn't do nothing.
To be fair, the way he had been playing the last half of the season, without getting bailed out by flags, he did kind of already look like a 2-star quarterback.
Yeah, but the way Lynch Max, the way that Philly D line, bro, they was playing just with an extra motivation, bro. It was.
Sure. I don't want to take anything away from Philly. They did a phenomenal job shutting down Kansas City at every turn. They made them look like they made them look like the Dallas Cowboys going up against the Lions last season.
Hey.
Kansas City's line they were trash.
Trey said, "Watch it." Talking about those Cowboys, man.
Look at this. Real quick, my bad, Maze.
No, go ahead.
I'm looking at LSU. LSU's got 10 players. 10 players right now. They're ranked 6 on 3 at least.
That's high level recruiting.
They got 2 5-stars though. 7 4-stars and 1 3-star. Those 5-stars will boost you up like crazy.
Yeah.
Like they're in the top. Yeah. They're in the top 6 basically.
Here, Johnny, we're gonna share it. We're gonna share it on the screen right here. There you go.
I think if we get all 3 of our projected 5s, I think that should push us up to top 5.
For sure.
Not top 10.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. By the way,
top 10. It'll be top 5.
Going back to Maniac's question, I don't know if everybody's already answered, Of the three, Meadows, Hyder, or Russell, who would you rather have, Johnny?
I'm taking the difference maker, Meadows. I need that.
Maniac, who would you rather have?
Yeah. Meadows, bro. That D line, bro. I don't care if he could disrupt the game. I don't care how many 5 stars you got on the outside. You're not going to be able to throw that ball.
That's true. Lich Max, of the three,
I'm
who
gonna
you want?
I'm gonna have to say Meadows as well, because I mean, like at the end of the day, really the only question that matters is, does the QB have time? And if we got that difference maker on the D line, that QB is not gonna have time.
Troy,
I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna say I want Russell.
all right. And Dub Q, who you want?
I was gonna do that. I was gonna do that too, but really and truly, you gotta go with Carter Meadows on this.
Yeah. So I think, Johnny, on your channel, maybe we talked about this, and I did choose Russell as well, because of what it represents, right? For Michigan, it's kind of the holy grail, if you will, a 5-star receiver. In a time when people say that, Bryce is going to be a handoff merchant and all of this, and JJ was a handoff merchant, and really downplaying Michigan's quarterback play. Now, granted, last year they would have had a point, but I like Russell. I think that's a big one, but I also agree with you guys that Carter, and I agree with you for a different reason, because yes, Johnny, he is a difference maker, and if he's disrupting, then it doesn't matter who you have on the outside. But I also want to keep him away from the other state, and playing that sort of defense in recruiting matters too. So I like that one too. Shout out to Sean Paul. He says, "Siento bien, just feeling nuts." M3 Maniac. Shout out to my guy Sean Paul. Thank you for the $10 super chat.
Yes, sir.
I would like to point out something right quick. Russell playing basketball could be a thing too.
That could be a huge factor, Troy. He met with Dusty May while he was here. He brought obviously his family with him, but he also brought his uncle, who apparently is a close confidant of his. And Michigan, by all accounts, did a great job connecting with the family. And people don't understand how big that is, right? Like, Michigan connecting with Travis Johnson's mother, for instance, right? She was singing Michigan's praises months ago, before any crystal balls were involved. So you got to win the family too.
I see somebody else is behind the paywall on 247. Read that article. So
well, I didn't. That's not even. I interviewed Travis Johnson's mother, and I'm on X a lot, and I seen they drop certain things on X or whatever. But yeah, absolutely. But I am behind that paywall as well. By the way, you got to be in what I'm doing, and it really just helps grow my network of people to get information from. But yeah,
absolutely.
The one thing that I will say about Michigan's recruiting is, even to our detriment, we have always been phenomenal at connecting with the players' families.
That's a fact. Yeah. We already got him, the original. That's what this was for. He is officially a Michigan Wolverine. I mean, obviously nobody signed anything yet, but he committed to Michigan today. So that's going down. SP said he'd rather have Savion. I mean, I'm not mad at it, man. Any of those those three guys, those 3 5-stars would be welcome additions. If Michigan landed all 3 of them, then forget about it.
Yeah, that'd be a man on man for sure.
Right. And they have that. It's a possibility. So
it's there. And plus, again, man, now Michigan playing with that bag, bro. They bag is a different kind of bag. Like, this ain't Dollar Tree, bro. This is Saks Fifth you're playing with right here. You heard?
We got that Brady money on our side.
Shout out to Tree, who is also a mod. Shout out to my guy Tree. He said, shout out to Smeagol being the highest rated Big Ten quarterback in the 26th class. What y'all think about that?
I like Schmeigel, bro. I like his film. I like his anticipation. He's an actual quarterback. To me, he's kind of way ahead of most quarterbacks in high school development. To me,
right?
I think he could be a field general, like a true field general.
No doubt.
Somebody said, I think somebody said that they get a feeling he might end up decommitting sometime down the line. How you think? What y'all think about that?
What's the kid that you were telling me about, the freak of nature?
Yeah, Elijah Haven.
Hey, that dude about 25.
Elijah Haven. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I hope Smeagol doesn't decommit, because it's always good to stack, the quarterback room, have talent behind talent. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be a 26 kid, Smeagol, right?
Yeah.
But Elijah Haven's a 27 kid. He's only a sophomore going into his junior year this year. He's already 6'5", 200 plus pounds. He looks like a man amongst boys out there already. Johnny, you can attest to that. Has a huge arm. Isn't as polished right now as Smeagol as a passer, right? But he's again like 15 years old. He can get better at that. Exactly.
Bro, I can't believe that dude is 15.
He's got plenty of room to develop into probably what could be one of the best quarterbacks of his class. But we won't know.
Well, he's the number one quarterback in his class right now.
Yeah, I was talking about I thought y'all were talking about the 2027 kid.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, he's already the best. Okay,
he's already the number one quarterback in his class.
I'm a little out of the loop. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's all good.
Somebody check his birth certificate, bro.
Yeah. Michigan has the opportunity here to go from Bryce Underwood, who we all think is going to be, he has the potential, let me say that, to be the greatest Michigan quarterback ever, right? And to go from him to somebody like Elijah Haven. Now, granted, I know I'm jumping over Smeagol if that's the case. There's already a former 5-star quarterback on the roster right now, and Jaden Davis, that looks to have been jumped over. So it happens, but right now he's still in the fold in the quarterback room. So stacking 5-star and 4-star talent in the quarterback room hasn't hurt anybody.
That's a fact. That's what you have to do if you don't want to end up like we did last year.
Yeah,
bro, that can never happen again.
No, and I don't think under the Sharon Moore's regime, I don't think we see that happen again. They understand, bro. If us players, if us as fans and podcasters see it, the coaching, and they heard it from their family. You don't think Sharon Moore's family is like, yo, bro, how dare you have this dude at your quarterback, man? They're like, yeah, we ain't gonna let that happen again at the dinner table. That's being spoken about. So every year you go at the best quarterback that's available for you, hands down. Every cycle you go for elite quarterbacks. Don't matter if you got 3 5-stars. Yeah, they all ain't gonna stay, but listen, that's a good problem to have.
Absolutely.
I will say I have seen some reports floating around about how Bryce is going to be one of the most developed true freshman quarterbacks coming into this season, given that Mikey Keene hasn't been able to be the number one in the spring practice for a while, for the first part of it at least.
Well, he wasn't able to practice at all, right?
Right. Yeah. I was just talking up to this point. I don't know if he's practicing now at number one, but up until Bryce has been the number one QB on the practice team, so he's been getting all those snaps in practice over what would have been, I think, a position battle over the practice season. So, there's been reports floating around that coming into this season, if Bryce is going to end up being one of the most, I don't know if I'd say developed, but has will have the most experience at quarterback as a true freshman coming into this season?
I mean, he's certainly getting a lot of reps. That's for sure. He got the spring game reps as well.
Yeah.
So I do think I think the coaching staff will have whoever the starting quarterback is prepared to go week 1. Right now it looks like it's going to be Bryce Young.
Bryce Young?
Underwood.
I'm sorry, Bryce Underwood. Certainly not Bryce Young. Although he was a very good college quarterback.
I'll take him in college now.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, he was a very good college quarterback.
We pull an NFL quarterback down to play college again?
How much eligibility you got left? Bryce Underwood for sure looks like the guy going into the season.
That would be my guess. I'd be inclined to agree with you there. I'm about, I'd say 85% sure that going into the season, it's going to be Bryce leading the charge.
Yeah,
at least
no doubt.
at least opening up the season. I would assume. I don't know about on the road, but at least opening up the season.
If we get Haven, I won't be upset if we lose Brady. Tree Tabernacle is what I'll say to that. I agree with you. I'm with you 1,000%. And no disrespect to Schmiegel, respectfully. But,
hey, I got a question for Juan Stockton. What time does the fight start?
That's a maniac.
I mean 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I'm about to put it on. I'm gonna rock for like another 10 minutes. Make my coffee.
Yeah, we'll probably be on.
Hey, calm down.
Who fighting tonight?
You too. Deontay Wilder. He up from the grave. They put him out from the grave. They say, "Yo, listen, you still got one more in your champ."
Wait, who's he fighting? One of the
He's fighting Lynch Max.
Is he fighting Jake Paul?
No, you remember Lynch Max? Remember the last time you ate at a diner? That diner you went to, the guy that made your pancakes. Yeah, that's who Wilder's fighting.
I saw a video of Wilder hooping.
No, Jake Paul. No, but Lynch Max. Jake Paul does fight tomorrow. He's fighting. I think everyone know, even if you didn't really watch boxing, Julio Cesar Chavez, the great Julio Cesar Chavez, his son, Chavez Jr., who really didn't really amount to nothing in boxing. Right. He was just living off his father's name. But, whenever Jake Paul fights, it's more of a circus thing. But the undercards, the fights before his fights are real fights. And these are,
the rematch
good fighters.
Or the trilogy, right? Of
not yet. That's in 2 weeks.
I was like, for a second there when you were talking about like a legendary boxer's son, I thought maybe he might be actually fighting a real trained boxer for once, who isn't.
He is fighting a real trained boxer.
Nah, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Was a belt holder at one point.
He was. He's fighting. But Lynch Max, the thing is that the guy he's fighting, he never really took the sport seriously, right? He'll come in overweight. He wouldn't train. He was smoking that ganja, as they say, the za. At the end of the day, it's just Jake Paul's gonna beat him up. In other words, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm rooting for him, man.
You rooting for who?
I'm rooting for Chavez Jr.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think everybody is rooting for him.
I'm not.
Did Chavez Jr. fight? Did he fight Canelo?
Yes, he did. Yeah. And he got cooked.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Chavez Sr., by the way, one of the GOATs of all time. I think he won like his first 100 fights.
80. He was 89-0.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You can't even do that on PlayStation.
You're right. Your man retiring before that, long before he get to 89. Now he did have a controversial he was getting worked by somebody, and they stopped the fight with like 1 second.
He was fought, man. My man, Meldrick Taylor, man, what a fighter he was. He was cooking Chavez, and then Richard Steele, referee, seconds left in the fight.
Come on, man.
He stops it, bro. One of the worst stoppages I've ever seen.
Yeah. That said, though, Julio Cesar was a legend. Is a legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was hoping that Mildred Taylor in that rematch was going to prove that he deserved to win the first one, but he got mopped the second time.
Yeah, he was just Troy. After that first fight, man, he was just never the same physically, mentally. And you know, boxing is a sport, man. Just like football, man. If you ain't there mentally, then you're pretty much worthless, man.
Yeah. Shout out to my guy Ralph. We was in the Menace chat earlier, cooking Buckeyes left and right. Sauteed Buckeye is what we were serving up.
They said, "Here's $4 million. You fighting tonight?" He said, "Okay."
Yeah. Shout out to Ralph, bro.
That's funny. That was funny. Oh,
hey,
man.
Everybody, we got to thank everybody who came in and chatted with us. We got up to like 400 something people in here. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, sir.
Lich Max, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
You can find me on Twitch, YouTube at LichMax626, and you can also find me over on the Gamers Sideline podcast that we started. Me and Kinetic started.
Wait a minute. We were going to get off. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we had a surprise probably coming. Here it is, the man himself, the man of the hour, Malachi Lee has joined the chat. How you feeling? Go Blue.
I'm good. Go Blue. Go Blue. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yes, sir. We only need like 30 seconds, man. What was the deciding factor in you choosing the Wolverines today?
To me, honestly, I think going on this OV, getting out to hang out with the other commits, and just being able to relate to them on kind of everything they had to say about why they ended up choosing Michigan. And that flight back home, obviously had a lot of time to think. And I was just thinking like, man, it would be great to be a Wolverine. So I had to make that decision, and man, I'm happy I made it.
Bro, everybody here is happy too.
Yes, sir.
Mahalo.
Hey, mahalo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And Johnny, you got a question for Malachi?
Just happy that you committed and to be a part of the Michigan Brotherhood. It's a big deal, and the tradition of the program is huge. So we're just happy to have you with the family, and hopefully you boys bring a championship home.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Maniac.
Can't wait for it.
Last question, and we're gonna get you out of here, Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi, first of all, congratulations on your commitment, champ. We had you on. We had interviewed you about a month or two ago. But I like something you said, man, before you committed. When you committed, excuse me, you mentioned Michigan is O-line university. And I love that, because that's the mindset that I want these future linemen to think. Like, I need to go to O-line U. And I know you also mentioned those Joe Moore awards. Looking at them did something to you.
Yes, sir.
Before you leave Michigan, are you going to be holding one of those trophies?
Now I'm gonna put my heart and soul into it just so I can win one. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give it my all.
Sir, thank you, man.
All right, Malachi, man. Thank you for joining us, man. Before you get out of here, what's the best Michigan football channel in the world?
You guys, for sure. You guys are the best.
Let's go. I'm joking, man. But thank you, man.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Malachi Lee. I know at the beginning of the show when I told y'all we have a special guest coming that you didn't believe it. I know it. I'm looking at you chatters right now. You didn't have faith in your boy, man.
Wow.
Believe in the Maze Madman one more time. And because of that, Ric Flair has something to say to you.
I'm the best there is. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Yes, sir. Yeah, Maze. That was fire, bro. That was fire. I didn't see that one coming for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Believe in your boy, Maniac. Believe in your boy.
I didn't think that would happen on commit day. I figured it would happen soon.
Whenever we get them, whenever we want them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. We don't. But Malachi's a great guy, man. And we've been communicating. Shout out to him. I appreciate that. That was a great look. All right, let's get out of here. Maniac, tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on.
You see it right there, man. Follow me on Instagram. GoBlue_Maniac_24, man. That'll lead you to my other accounts. If you like boxing, if you talk boxing, holla at me.
Yes, sir. The Go Blue Maniac, ladies and gentlemen. Troy, what's the last thing you got to say, sir?
I'm gonna say something we've been saying for the past few days, man. Your interviews are always fire. I'm always impressed by who you are able to get on here, man, and I'm just blessed to be a part of this, man. Today, I'm impressed.
No doubt, Troy. I appreciate you, sir. Dub Q, final word, sir. Of course, Dub Q is not here with us because he is the worst service in the history of mankind. Johnny Odin Jr., ladies and gentlemen, tell the people what you got going on.
Johnny Odin Jr. YouTube, Johnny Odin Jr. on Twitter. Tomorrow we will be discussing the out-of-conference scheduling and should it change or should we continue to schedule other big-time programs? What's the differences in it, and should we continue to do it? Also, we got the Sunday call-in show, where anybody's welcome to come on and cook up kind of about anything you want to talk about, but it seems like it always ends up Michigan, Ohio State, but anyone's welcome.
No doubt. That's my guy, JOJ. Don't tell Johnny what to do, and Johnny's live. Be sure to check out those car lives. Always cooking. Puts Ohio State fans in a headlock on a consistent basis. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maze Madman. You know it already. Follow my guy, Go Blue. He already gave you his information. Kinetic is not here. Kinetic 615 everywhere. Lich Max has already given you his thing. Till next time, stay angry, my friends, and believe in your boy.
Maze coming for Pat McAfee. He coming for you, Pat.
I'm not, but believe it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that Maze and that lock and all that. I just don't get it. And how the